Welcome to DreamShare, a bi-weekly podcast where we talk about dreams, share dreams we've had, and figure out what they could mean. I'm your host, Sarah Strunk, and I'm here with my co-host and my brother, Christopher.
It's me.
And today, we also have a very special guest with us. You've probably heard his dreams before in our Community Dreams segment. His name is Andy.
Hello, it's me, Andy.
No, you have to say it like that. You have to go, Andy.
Oh, okay, sorry, let me try again. Hello, it's me, Andy.
Welcome to the podcast, Andy.
Thanks for having me, guys. I love listening to this podcast.
Woohoo! I mean, you're a role model for us because to this date, you've sent in 15 dreams.
You have more dreams than Sarah and I. I mean, Sarah keeps talking about how she has 800 dreams in her notes, but like, until I see these notes, I don't believe her.
It's all a lie.
And I have like one dream a month, so at some point, I'm going to run out of content, basically.
I didn't realize it was so many.
It's a lot.
There's a lot.
Every time I check the email, it's like, bing, Andy sent in another dream, which is amazing. We love it. We're so thankful for it.
Yeah, at some point, I'm going to have to start reading your dreams as my own dreams because I'm not going to dream enough.
Well, anyway, before we get too into it, we're going to go into our fun fact of this week, which kind of spawned from Christopher and I being interested in how long do dreams last? Like, how long, if you're in your dream for like 2 hours and you're being chased by a monster or whatever, like, is it actually 2 hours or is it like 10 minutes?
Well, Sarah, I can't really answer that, but I can answer how long we spend dreaming. Well, kind of. So to answer this question, how long do you spend dreaming, we have to ask another question, which is, how long do you spend in REM sleep each night? As we know, REM sleep is when most of your dreaming happens, so I thought if we could answer this question, maybe we'll know how long we spend dreaming each night. All of the following information is coming from sleepfoundation.org. So, how long does REM sleep last? The short answer is that REM sleep makes up about 25% of an adult's nightly sleep. So, if you sleep for 8 hours, you might spend 2 of those in REM sleep. Now, the slightly longer answer is, it kind of depends. It depends a lot on your sleep cycle, which differs from person to person. It can also depend on how long you've been asleep and how many sleep cycles you've been through. And like, really, it just depends on a bunch of things. Like, your sleep cycle can depend on your age, your recent sleep patterns. It can depend on alcohol consumption, whether you woke up on the left or the right side of the bed. Like, seemingly anything can affect your sleep cycle.
So sensitive.
It is very sensitive. Well, it seems that way. Not sure. Not a scientist. So the point is, everybody is going to spend a different amount of time in REM sleep. But I don't actually know for sure if all of your time spent in REM sleep is spent dreaming. So like, if you are always dreaming, I think we could say that adults spend about 25% of their sleep time dreaming. But I couldn't find anything on this topic, so I don't actually know if that's true. So really what it comes down to is, how long do we spend dreaming? Maybe 25% of your time sleeping. I also don't know why some dreams feel like forever, but are actually only 5 minutes long. So like, I don't know a lot of things, actually.
It's kind of a like tricky question because I don't know a lot about how your brain processes time, but I do know that when you're sleeping, like it just depends on the person of like, if you're in a 2-hour long dream, you could literally be sleeping for like 30 minutes, or you could have a really short dream and it could be like 30 seconds in the REM cycle. And I think it's just all about how our brains process time and sensory elements that have to do with time and memory. Not memory. I don't know where I'm going with this. Uh-oh.
That's okay. We just move on. Andy, any thoughts?
Yeah, it all makes sense, you know? It always feels like it's longer in the dream. And I've definitely had instances where I'll wake up a lot throughout the night, especially in the morning, because I'm like, my body knows I have to wake up soon, but it doesn't know what time it is. So I keep waking up, and it's like, oh, 7:30, I can go back to sleep. And then I'll have a dream, and I'll wake up again, and I'm like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. So it's only been half an hour, but I had like a full, decent dream.
Right.
And I've noticed this because in your emails to the DreamShare email, you've literally written timestamps in there. Like one email, it was like, I had this dream between 8:59 and 9:15. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I also noted that down because I thought that was like really unique.
Yeah.
Like, are you waking up looking at the clock and going, oh yeah, cool, 7:34, 7:30. Oh, 7:59. Okay, cool.
The clock is right next to my bed, so I'm always checking it because I like to sleep a lot. Like sleeping's my favorite thing. And so before I get up for work, I try to have as much sleep as I can. So I'm always watching the clock. And so it's like, I just wake up and I note the time and I go back to sleep and then I wake up again.
And you just remember that?
Yeah.
You're not like writing it down? Because like you wrote at the end of one of your dreams, only 20 minutes had passed since the last time I looked at the clock. So in 20 minutes, you had this super long, elaborate dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going either with that. It's just cool.
No, it's just really cool. And it's something like I've never experienced. I don't think Christopher's ever experienced that. And it's just unique because like, I mean, some people are in real life, not sleeping life. Not that they're different, but like in real life, some people are just not good at time.
It's me.
Or, like time management.
I'm not good at time.
Yeah. But some people are just like, their brains are wired to be like numbers and measurements and units of time and stuff. So like, would you say that that's more like you?
Are you a robot?
I've always thought so.
Beep boop bop.
Don't tell the government. I think it mostly just stems from I really just don't want to get up for work and I just want to sleep.
On your resume, it's just like, I like to sleep. Well, anyway, okay, so we're just going to get kind of into it, but let me explain how this episode's going to work because it's a little bit different than our normal episodes. So we're still going to share 3 dreams during the episode. However, instead of the usual Christopher shares a dream, I share a dream, and then we share a community dream, we're all going to be sharing dreams that Andy has had. So Christopher and I went through the email. We each picked a dream that we wanted to share from Andy, and then Andy has also brought one of his own dreams. So it's really all about Andy today.
Hence the title, An Ode to Andy.
Voila! Or ta-da!
Voila.
Voila. Okay, so I will go first. So with that, let us all whoosh. And this is a very special whoosh, too.
This is the first 3-person whoosh.
Yes. Did
Josh whoosh?
Yeah, but I didn't whoosh.
Oh, you're right. This is the first 3-person whoosh. This is the holy trinity of whooshes. 3, 2, 1.
Whoosh.
It started with my dream character standing in a small room opposite of Mark Wahlberg. We were both out of breath, like we had been running. I was dual-wielding ice cream scoops. Swing, swing. Mark said, "I don't feel good, man. I think I'm supposed to be dead." I knew he was supposed to be dead. I had this feeling that I was his soul separated from his body and wielding ice cream scoops. "I think I'm going to hell," he said, putting his hands on his knees to catch his breath. I also knew he was going to hell. Suddenly, he collapsed on the ground. He started to melt through the floor, glowing orange veins appearing over his body. My vision turned blood red. We appeared in hell, which didn't look too bad. Kind of like a Game of Thrones set, but with more red. There were demons surrounding us. They looked like knights, but with little boars' heads. I still had my ice cream scoops. In the corner of the room, there was a large boar person dressed like a queen. I somehow instantly knew she was the mother of all boar demons. Mark and I attacked her. The scene changed to a different part of hell, something like a courtyard. There was a full-service tiki bar to the side. Hordes of boar demons were squealing in the courtyard, watched by normal demons above.
Free her! Free her!
The boars were chanting.
Save her! Kill them!
They were forming ranks and marching towards a large door in the northwest corner. They charged. The doors burst open and deflated pig corpses are thrown outward, knocking the boars back. They crashed into the tiki bar. Chaos has been unleashed. Mark and I leap out of our would-be prison, swinging our ice cream scoops like clubs.
Andy, how do you have so many dreams? You wake up and you're like, oh, I had another dream. And you write it, and it's like the longest thing in existence. And it's like this cinematic masterpiece. And I wake up and it's like, oh my God, I dreamed I was eating Oreos.
I mean, I don't know. I've always wanted to have a sleep study done on me because I think it would be fun.
Yeah, your dreams are like, they need an underscore to them. They need like beautiful cinematography. Like they're very cinematic.
Well, some of them. Other ones I've sent in were just like bugs.
I love the shift from the first part where it's like you're in it and you know something that Mark Wahlberg doesn't. And then it literally in your dream, you wrote like the camera follows. And so then it turned into like this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else I would describe what happens besides just like a camera, like the perspective. It's like I'm not there. It's not me. It was a separate event.
And part of that's probably because you work in like the production industry. And like
I work in video. I watch movies. I watch a lot of TV.
Right. So that's kind of how it like makes sense in your brain.
Yeah, I forgot so much about that dream. Pretty much all I remembered was Mark Wahlberg and the ice cream scoops.
Well, see, it's good that you wrote it down because this is a beautiful dream you've had.
Yeah, definitely since this podcast has started, I've had a lot more vivid dreams that I can remember. And it's just been a lot of fun to just wake up, write them down, and send them in.
Heck yeah, we're brainwashing people.
Maybe I should listen to this podcast.
Yeah, you just re-listen to the episodes. You're like, oh, yes, I'll write down my dreams.
I think I should.
It's actually really funny the amount of people that have emailed me or texted me or reached out to the Instagram account saying that they've had more dreams since they've started listening to the podcast, which just kind of proves the tip about being more aware of writing down your dreams will actually help you to remember them. So, here's some real live science. There's no data to back it up besides just the stuff that I just said, which is just casual data from my mouth. But anyway, boom, science.
I think another reason that they're so detailed is I think I lucid dream a lot. I used to think lucid dreaming was different, like you had active control over everything.
Right.
I don't always recognize that I'm dreaming, which I thought was a necessary component of lucid dreaming until you guys read the description on the lucid dreaming episode. And I was like, oh, wait, most of my dreams are lucid dreams.
Right. I had the same kind of reaction.
There's been very few dreams that I've had where I was like, this is a dream. And most of those dreams that I can think of, I can't remember them, but I can remember having them.
Right.
It was always like I was watching something, like I was a third party watching this, like a movie.
Oh.
But in a lot of the dreams I've submitted, they were lucid dreams, but it was less like this is a dream and more like I would think something and then it would happen and I'd be surprised that it happened. So it wasn't like conscious, but it was a result of my mind, if that makes sense.
So you have control, but you just weren't aware that you were the one controlling that.
Right. Which I always thought, oh, that's not a lucid dream.
I also, when we did that research, I learned that too. And it was funny because after we did that episode, I had my first lucid dream that I can remember. But it was literally like the end of my dream, but right before I woke up, I turned and looked at my friend and she was like, well, you're in a dream right now. And then I woke up and I was like, I just lucid dreamed. Well, that was what I brought to the table, which really I didn't bring anything because Andy submitted it.
I was going to say, Andy brought that to the table.
Andy brought that to the table. I just read it. So let's move on. Christopher, do you want to share Andy's dream next?
All right. I have another thing that Andy brought to the table, and it is a dream.
Good. I was going to say, is it beans?
It's not beans. We can whoosh.
All right.
All right, ready?
Wait, it's a Holy Trinity. It's a double.
Oh my God,
it's a Holy Trinity squared because we're whooshing 3 times during this episode.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Okay, I just got way too excited.
All right, ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Whoosh.
My family was on vacation at the beach, and we were trying to figure out what to get for lunch. There was a fish and chip store a little bit away, so I offered to go get it. I hopped in a car made of cheap cardboard and drove down a little street to an intersection. I looked both ways and drove out, but immediately there were sirens and 2 cop cars swooped in and blocked off the road. I thought something was about to go down, so I turned my little cardboard car around and ditched it in a field. I was walking back to my family when a man came rushing out of one of the cop cars with a basketball.
Yo, do you guys want to see how fast I can dribble?
He started trying to get a basket while a small camera crew was filming him.
Are you catching this? I'm going at light speed here.
The producer kept repeating, "We need this shot."
All right, fam, I got you. Oh, we're known that. Let's go.
I eventually got back to my family, and they were in a parent-teacher association meeting. My dad told me Chris was also there, and so was my high school biology teacher. I turned around again, and there was a press conference attended by 2 copies of Bill Clinton and a woman in a very high-fashion suit who I understood to be the current president. My brother and I got singled out as protesters, but this was a positive thing. Then you wrote, I woke up and only 20 minutes had passed since the last time I looked at the clock. Quick question. Were the Bill Clintons wearing the same outfit?
I barely remembered, but I think so.
So they were just carbon copies. It was Bill and Will.
Yeah.
It was Bill and Bill, but only one L.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was just a funny dream because I like the image of you getting in a little tiny cardboard car and it like puttering down the street and then 2 cop cars go.
That dream came after another dream. So like I had a dream and then I woke up and I looked at the clock and then I went back to sleep and had that dream. And in that dream, I just remember the sense of urgency was off the charts. Like things were just going crazy. And it was just like really high intensity, lots of, I don't want to say stress, but just like things were happening. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening right now. And I had to leave. And then all of a sudden there were 2 Bill Clintons. And I was like, oh my gosh, 2 Bill Clintons.
Oh my gosh. Talk about stressful.
Yeah, really.
I love the production design of this dream, especially the little car. Knowing how tall you are in real life, you getting in that little tiny like cardboard car and just like hunched down was a very funny image to see in my head. But I also really appreciate the pun. I don't know if either of you caught this, but when the camera crew was shooting the basketball scene and the director's like, we just need to get this shot. Like, oh, you need to get the shot with the cameras because that's what you say when you're like getting a shot and doing the film. Then you also need to make the shot because basketball, scores, shots. So anyway, I just wanted to say I really appreciated that your subconscious is dreaming in puns.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at any point. So good catch, Sarah. You're on the ball.
Wow, this was like the first time I said something cool.
Well, let's not push it.
No, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So this is like such a dream where it's just random all around and you're like different things are happening. And I was there, which is really the reason I picked it.
Yeah, it's just wild. None of it related. I don't remember exactly when I had that dream, but it was just like a normal day. Definitely didn't have any PTA meetings.
Yeah.
Hadn't heard anything from Bill Clinton in a while.
Well, Andy, do you wanna wrap up this hoedown by taking us to the big dream, the dream that comes straight from the source?
Yeah.
That's you.
Okay.
That's your cue.
All right. Should we whoosh?
This is the holy trinity.
Sarah, this is also the
×2.
first time someone other than us. Oh no, Josh did it. Never mind.
Okay.
On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
Whoosh.
The dream started underwater. Floating, glowing tendrils of a giant anemone illuminated the water. Balls of light would travel down the tendrils to white buds on the ends, like brain signals through a neuron. It was understood that this light and the anemone were delivering water, and the white buds were either people or households. A ghostly woman's voice echoed through the water. Please, send me some water. Please. I love you. And it was understood that this voice belonged to an outcast. A closer voice, also a woman's, replied, Not yet, my love, or they will find you. Not yet. Soon. The scene moved out of the water to follow the owner of the second voice. She was a squid-like elfish creature with blue-green skin, long ears, and gangly limbs. She was the one who delivered water to this weird squid goblin village. She and the controls to the water were in the back of a school bus in the middle of the village. Outside the bus, squid people were running. There was a monster loose in the village. It was hunched over with its arms outstretched and moved in an awkward, hurried shuffle as though controlled by strings. Its wide yellow eyes glowed with terrifying glee as they locked onto the squid woman on the bus. It slowly began to climb inside the bus. Luckily, the squid people rallied together and swarmed the monster.
Let's get him!
A squid man got the beast into a chokehold.
Oh, I've got you now, Sonny!
Then a very large human woman appeared and said she would take the monster to jail. The squid man then went back to his old squid folks' home where other old squids were doing yoga.
Oh, I hope Carol doesn't fart in front of me today.
There's an old squid woman there with the widest hips I've ever seen, like bad custom character creator wide.
Hey, Carol. Oh, not again.
Someone announced it was time to get ready for the ball, and there was a flurry of activity. They all went to their separate rooms and started putting on makeup and getting dresses. But then the dream ended.
I like that you're basically writing scripts. Like, you start that dream and it's like, oh, it's going to be like a love story, but like forbidden love or whatever, like an outcast and someone who's still in society. And then your brain goes, wait, we got to switch genres because we're losing the audience. So we got to hop into something else. Like, let's hit comedy at some point in this.
We're losing the audience.
And the audience is Andy. So your brain's like, we're losing him. Pull him back around. Start adding things. Put a woman with the hips as wide as a table in there. Let's do some yoga, baby.
Send in the old folks home, people. Send it in.
Bring out the bus.
Like the first sentence that you read, like that set up the scene, I thought I was at a poetry reading.
Yeah, and it was very different than the last sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this opening was so cinematic. In the dream, I was just like, wow, this is so pretty. And then it spiraled out of control.
So during the part where the monster was like inside the bus and all the squid were like fighting him and stuff, I know it was like a really cinematic piece, but I also couldn't help picturing that like if a bunch of squids were fighting each other, wouldn't they just like get stuck? Like, wouldn't they be like whoosh, and like suction cup onto someone and they'd be like, wait, Jerry, I can't unstuck myself from his neck. That's just what I was picturing.
I think they can control that.
Also, these were squid people. They're more like the Inklings from Splatoon than like squids.
Oh my god, you had a dream all about Splatoon.
Like Octodad?
No, not so much like Octodad.
Oh, Sarah, you know like when you're a kid but you're also a squid?
Of course. Squid Kid.
Yeah, so you had a Splatoon dream.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize you were 12 years old.
Also, I've never played Splatoon.
Don't worry, we can change that.
I think it's kind of funny that after all that talking about lucid dreams, none of the dreams we read were lucid dreams I had.
Okay, but to be fair, Andy, you sent 15 dreams in and we only read 3 of them. Actually,
Yeah.
No, you didn't even send your dream in. You kept that to yourself. So 16 dreams and 3 of them were read and you have a bunch of others. And what, Christopher, do you remember the percent of lucid dreams that people have? Was it like 30?
I do not.
Okay, I think it was around 30%. So I feel like statistically speaking, I cannot do math, but I'm fairly certain.
Hold on, I can go check that percentage to see if you're correct.
I feel like we have an obligation to confirm.
Yeah, I'm going to confirm. All right. This comes from Healthline, and you have written down in the episode 8 lucid dreaming episode that according to a study, about 55% of people have experienced a lucid dream in their lifetime, while about 23% of people have lucid dreams once a month.
Okay, so if Andy is one of those 23% of people, it would make sense that part of his dreams are lucid, but the other part are not lucid.
So if we pick 2 more dreams, one of them would be lucid, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a dream I was really bad at statistics.
Maybe
Are you sure that wasn't just college?
You.
No, because I had a dream this morning and I was like, oh, I got to write that down. And then I forgot what it was about. It was about statistics.
Oh my gosh, this is a holy moment. In a holy episode is you getting the trigger word to remember the dream you had.
I had a t-shirt on with a D20, like the 20-sided die for Dungeons and Dragons. And I was trying to figure something out. And like I had a teacher came in the room and I was in a hotel. And she was like, you got to figure this out. And I was like, I don't know how math or fractions work. Man, I wish I wrote that down. There was a lot more to it.
Your brains are like exploding. Your veins on your forehead are bursting at the seams.
Yeah, so I'm not good at statistics. So maybe someone else should handle statistical facts from now on.
Well, I can't be a girl.
Oh, I guess we'll just turn the podcast over to Andy.
Apparently I'm good with numbers, so I can handle statistics.
You're good with time numbers.
Yeah, the time numbers.
So to wrap up, thank you, Andy, for being on the podcast. Thanks for sharing your dreams. If you have a dream that you want to share, you can email us at dreams.dreamshare@gmail.com. If you want to beat Andy, the current number is 16 dreams to send in to beat. But at the rate Andy's going, I think he's just going to be like the VIP role model of DreamShare in terms of that. Check us out on Instagram at DreamShare Podcast. And if you liked what you heard today, share it. Follow us for more updates. And as always, sweet dreams.